Big O from Fresno to the outside. And they're off. Granny's IPA gets the first call. Here's Ghostly Act in the center of the course, though. And Big O from Fresno is faster than all. So Big O from Fresno will be able to clear the field from the extreme outside. Venom is third in the early going as they move into the first turn. They are followed by Silent Heat racing on the inside of Black Is My Heart. And at the rail, Gianola is now moving up to be about 2 lengths off the pace in the purple colors down at the rail. It's another couple of lengths to the next flight, headed by Maxville, who's a length and a half in front of Sure Prospect. Torque Wrench in the orange is next, followed by Granny's IPA, and Big George is at the back of the field. They run toward the half-mile pole, and it's Big O from Fresno leading the way, prompted by Ghostly Act, who's about a length back in second. They're followed by Gianola and down on the inside, a joint third, with Silent Heat right next to that rival, only 2 lengths off the pace. They're followed by Black As My Heart. Then it's Venom. Another 2 lengths back comes Maxville. They are followed by Torque Wrench and then Sure Prospect. The 2 trailers, Big George and Granny's IPA. Big O from Fresno has been the controlling speed, lets it out a notch at the top of the stretch, and opens up a 4-length advantage, no one making headway. Ghostly Act still holding second and trying hard, and then it's a battle for third. Silent Heat. Maxville is picking up a few pieces late. Lights out for Big O from Fresno, who led them on a merry chase, wrapped up to score by 3. Ghostly Act was second. Silent Heat third. Photo for fourth between Maxville and Black Is My Heart. They're in the gate. And they're off. You're in trouble very fast away from the gate. Takes control at once. Nothing Like You on the outside moves, and in between them, Elegant. And so Elegant has more natural speed and is up to take command. Leads at a length and a half now to Nothing Like You in second. You're in Trouble in the Yellow Silks third. Esprit Enchant the Rail in fourth. Then Where's My Ring advancing very eagerly on the outside, up to be only about a length and a half off the pace, while widest of all, and Sugarfish at the back of the field. It's Elegant and Joel Rosario leading the way past the half-mile pole. Nothing Like You is just a neck back second, followed by Where's My Ring taking third. You're in Trouble at the rail fourth, under a hold two, only about 2 lengths off the leaders. Esprit Enchant is next, and another 2.5 to Sugarfish. They're midway around the far turn, and Where's My Ring made that big move and has sustained it, up to take the lead now by a half length. Nothing Like You second. Elegant dropping right out of it. On the outside, here's Esprit Enchant with nice strides coming, and there's room for You're in Trouble. There was room, and there no longer is. Absolutely blocked. Trying to come now, one from the rail, and You're in Trouble is coming gamely after Where's My Ring, and on the outside, Esprit Enchant. Esprit Enchant with the momentum on the outside. Here is the line. Photo finish. Esprit Enchant. You're in Trouble might have been very unlucky, but in a close photo. Then Where's My Ring and Nothing Like You. And Johnny Drama to complete the line. Goes in. They're in the gate. And they're off. Vegas Burner gets the first call out of the gate. Now here's Classical on the comeback, and Johnny Drama far outside is up close too. Then it's Bad Uncle Barry, fourth and 2 lengths off the leader. Petkoff is next. Down at the rail comes Sea of Cortez. The 2 trailers, Dr. Soulfire and Living Life, is at the back of the field. It's Classical passing the half-mile pole, leading it by about a length, with Vegas Burner in pursuit second. Then Johnny Drama in the clear while third. At the rail comes Bad Uncle Barry, and Petkoff in between those two moves up to claim the third position. Sea of Cortez is 4 lengths off the lead. He's starting to tug his way forward From the back of the field, Living Life is 5 off the pace. And inside of him, Dr. Soulfire. They're very compact as the field turns for home. It's Classical in front. On the outside, Vegas Bernard. Sea of Cortez in some traffic, just trying to angle out and down at the rail. Here's Dr. Soulfire, also looking for racing room. Sea of Cortez, one from the outside, a driving finish, including Petkoff. What a blanket this one is. Bad Uncle Barry between, and here's Living Life. Living Life came from last to run them all down. Bad Uncle Barry lost a heartbreaker. In between horses, Sea of Cortez and Petkoff were in that blanket too. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Zenyatta. And Adair Manor and Desert Dawn come out 1-2. Window shopping on the outside. And now Microshare is hustled up to try and put some pressure on Adair Manor. But it's Adair Manor who's a little bit quicker than Microshare into the first turn. They're followed by Desert Dawn, and Window Shopping is fourth and 4 lengths off Adair Manor. Adair Manor, a clear-cut leader, has it now by 2 lengths coming to the 6 furlong pole. Microshare is in second. Window Shopping and Desert Dawn are stride for stride with 5.5 furlongs to run. Juan Hernandez has a nice hold of Adair Manor, who opens up a 2-length advantage. Now it's almost 3 on Microshare second. Desert Dawn is at the rail. Window Shopping 3 deep. Adair Manor left alone on the front end, coming to the half-mile pole with a 3-length advantage. Desert Dawn along the inside. Window Shopping, and in between those two, Microshare. No change in the running order. Coming to the 3/8 pole, it's been all Adair Manor. Adair Manor by herself in front by 2.5 lengths. Microshare, Desert Dawn, and Window Shopping. Heading to the quarter pole, Adair Manor. Adair Manor, 3.5 lengths. Now it's 4 at the top of the stretch. Desert Dawn is clearly second, trying to make a run at Adair Manor, coming to the 8th pole. Hernandez sitting still on Adair Manor, galloping through the stretch, all by herself, completely outclassing the Zenyatta field. This will be her 5th straight win and 4th graded stakes. Adair Manor trots in by 5 lengths. Desert Dawn, Microshare, and Window Shopping. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Unzip Me. Fast and Shiny is very quick. Make It Snow has speed too, as does Wide West, who comes right after Fast and Shiny down the hill. Alternate Rock is racing up a joint third at this stage, followed by Havana Angel. She's the gray racing in between horses. Lunar Impact is next, followed by Free and Humble. Then it's Ruby Nell, followed by Wed, and it has to be another 15 lengths to slow starting Justique. Down the hill, and it is Wide West, a little bit quicker than Fast and Shiny. Ruby Nell ranging up on the far outside. Inside of her comes Make It Snow. They're followed by Alternate Rock, and Havana Angel is next. Then Free and Humble and Wed racing 4 clear of Lunar Impact. They're at the top of the stretch. Fast and Shiny and Wide West are head and head at the top of the lane. Ruby Nell extreme outside. Make It Snow is in there too. Ruby Nell coming after Fast and Shiny. These two square off at the furlong pole. Fast and Shiny, Ruby Nell. Ruby Nell on the outside takes the lead. Fast and Shiny fighting on. It's Ruby Nell just in front though, and Ruby Nell is too strong. Ruby Nell has won the Unzip Me from Fast and Shiny. Then it was a long way back. Free and Humble third. Photo for fourth included Justique, who was so far out of it. She got into the mix to be a part of the very minor awards. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Tokyo City Cup. Azul Coast on the far outside. Kiss Today Goodbye is showing some good speed, and he comes away in second. Then it's Order in Law, and the favorite Missed the Cut is tucked in at the back of the field. So Juan Hernandez takes Azul Coast out on the front end, and they've pulled clear to lead it by 2. Kiss Today Goodbye is a tracking second. Then Missed the Cut racing along the inside, and Order of Law will be 3 wide into the stretch for the first time, where Azul Coast is left alone on the front end. Has it by 2 lengths. Missed the Cut inches up inside. Kiss Today Goodbye. Order in Law is 3 lengths off the lead with a little more than a lap to go. It's Azul Coast. Kiss Today Goodbye within 3/4 of a length of him second, and Missed the Cut is a willing third along the rail, the heavy favorite 2 lengths off the pace. Order and Law is at the back of the field. They're moving into the clubhouse turn, and it's Azul Coast. Still showing the way, no change in the running order. Kiss Today Goodbye at the rail. Missed the Cut inches up now. He takes second. And at the back of the field throughout is Order in Law. They swing on to the backstretch, and it's the 6-year-old Azul Coast, clear by 2 lengths. Now Order in Law is going to make an early bid. He's on the outside, Missed the Cut at the rail, and Kiss Today Goodbye between those two. So that trio lines up behind Azul Coast. Azul Coast takes them toward the half-mile pole, still leading by a length over Kiss Today Goodbye. Down at the rail, Missed the Cut. Order in Law made that brief bid, but is now 3 lengths behind again at the back of the field. Heading to the 3/8 pole, Azul Coast. About to be set down as Kiss Today Goodbye turns the pressure up. On the outside, Order in Law. Missed the Cut has saved a lot of ground. He'll need to find a touch of room here as they come toward the quarter pole. Azul Coast ahead. Kiss Today Goodbye, and Hector Barrios now puts his head in front, and Kiss Today Goodbye is the one to catch. Missed the Cut swings out for the drive, top of the stretch, and here's Missed the Cut. And Missed the Cut cruises up to Kiss Today Goodbye and puts them away under Umberto Rispoli. It's Missed the Cut who will open up and win easily. Missed the Cut, son of Quality Road, wins the Tokyo City Cup by 4.5 easy lengths. Kiss Today Goodbye was second best. Azul Coast and Order in Law. The upcoming 7th is the Grade 2 John. They're in the gate. And they're off in the John Henry Turf Championship. Balladeer is the quickest out of the gate. Master of Foxhound showing his usual early foot. So these two will be 1-2 as they cross over the dirt. And that was not fun for Balladeer, who was bearing very wide, but straightens up now and opens up a few lengths. Master of Foxhounds is in second, followed by Yes This Time in third. Planetario in the orange colors. Here's the gray Cash Equity, moving up now to claim the 4th spot. Another length and a half to an unhurried Gold Phoenix through the early stages, who's a length and a half in front of Speaking Scout, and that leaves Awfully Naughty at the back, close to 15 lengths off Balladeer. And Balladeer opens up early. He's got a 5-length advantage. Master of Foxhounds couldn't ask for a better spot in second. And Yes This Time is a clear-cut third. It's another 3 back to Cash Equity and Planetario right together. 2 more to Gold Phoenix, Speaking Scout, and Awfully Naughty. On to the backstretch, and it's Balladeer, still clear by 4 lengths. Master of Foxhounds and Edward Maldonado moving in from second. Maldonado just took a peek back to see Yes This Time, 2 behind him. Another 3 or so back to Cash Equity outside of Planetario. Then Speaking Scout and Gold Phoenix. Awfully Naughty trying to inch up outside of that pair. Balladeer's lead down to 2 lengths. Master of Foxhounds cutting into that margin willingly second. 3 more Yes This Time is in third. They are followed by Planetario and Cash Equity, who have been together. Now Gold Phoenix is called on as Master of Foxhounds comes to Balladeer at the top of the stretch. Balladeer digging in. Master of Foxhounds still a length back second. 4 more to yes this time. Speaking Scout angles out in Planetario. A 16th to go. Balladeer tenaciously fending off Master of Foxhounds. Balladeer all the way under Victor Espinoza to win the John Henry Turf Championship. Master of Foxhounds was second, then Speaking Scout and Planetario. Up next, the 8th, which is 21 minutes away. Number 6, Navy Man, the jockey Joel Rosario. Scratch 9, Red Line. And note that number Positivity. And they're off. Positivity is out quickly, along with Hot Rod Rumble, and Bus Buzz now joins them, and Bus Buzz is up to vie for the lead, but Hot Rod Rumble is going to match strides with him, or at least try to. Behind them, Will Be is in fourth, 4 lengths off the pace, followed by Hard to Figure. Navy Man in the pink is next, 3 clear of Father Delay, then St. Ives, and the trailer is The Big Wham. Bus Buzz is the quickest past the half-mile pole. Opens up 2 now on Hot Red Rumble in second. They are followed by Positivity, and Will Be is at the rail fourth, 4 lengths off the leader. Hard to Figure is next, racing 2.5 in front of a hard-ridden Navy Man. Father Delay is trying to make some headway in the yellow colors. 2 clear of St. Ives, and the Big Wham starting to run a bit from behind. They passed the quarter pole, and Positivity is up to take the lead away from Bus Buzz. These two are head and head. Bus Buzz is going to fight with him, but it's Positivity with the upper hand with an 1/8 of a mile to go, and he now opens up a length. Bus Buzz second, long way back, Hard to Figure. Father Delay. Father Delay has momentum into third, but it's going to be Positivity. Positivity opens up late to win it by more than 3 lengths. Bus Buzz was second. Then Father Delay, Hard to Figure, in the Big Wham. Carmelita's Man to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. Castleac in the middle of the course. Bally's Charm has speed and up to take the lead, and they're joined by Crosby Beach on the outside, who moves right into contention. Hurricane Cloud is up close now, moving into the second spot. Eastern Ocean is down at the rail. Tio Magico racing in between horses as they move into the clubhouse turn. Kid Azteca is 5 lengths off the leader. They're followed by Sarwar in the orange colors, length and a half in front of Carmelita's Man. The 2 trailers are Win the Day, and Fantastic is at the back of the field, some 12 lengths off the front running Bally's Charm, who takes them onto the backstretch with a 2-length cushion on Crosby Beach in second. Hurricane Cloud at the rail in third, followed by Tio Magico. Castleac is 5 lengths off the leader with a half-mile to travel. Eastern Ocean is next, followed by Kid Azteca, who's in between rivals, 6 lengths off the lead. Sarwar and Carmelita's Man still right together, followed by Win the Day and Fantastic. Bally's Charm still leads, coming to the quarter pole. Hurricane Cloud inching up on the inside, a joint second. Crosby Beach is outside of him. They're followed by Tio Magico. Castleac is next. And down at the rail, Eastern Ocean, there's an 1/8 of a mile to go. And Bally's Charm still with a 2.5 length lead. Tio Magico is finishing with some interest in the center of the race course, but with a 16th to run. Bally's Charm maintaining a nice lead, and it's Bally's Charm. Hector Barrios put them to sleep and took them coast to coast. Tight photograph for second included Win the Day and an oncoming Carmelita's Man. Others in the battle to complete the super high five include Eastern Ocean, Sarwar, and Tio Magico.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to week number 2 of the Autumn Meet here at the Great Race Place. We've got 38 races over the next 4 days. That's right. We race on Holiday Monday for you over the holiday weekend. And, of course, our special guest today, you've seen him on the seminar before. He is the Loyalty and Marketing Ambassador here at the Great Race Place. He does a lot of work for First Bet. His name, Sebastian Piscuskas. Easy for me to say, Sebastian.
Easy game.
Welcome to this seminar. Happy Friday.
Oh, I'm happy to be back, Tom.
Now, you're wearing the company colors. You got not only the Zenyatta hat on, but you got the Breeders' Cup hat on as well. You're covering all the bases.
100%. I want to make everybody happy.
But it feels like Breeders' Cup, right? All joking aside, when you walk the apron, we can already see the temporary stands up. There's horses working in the morning. Do you come out in the morning and watch any of the workouts?
I'm here early, but I got too much to do, so I'm not able to watch as many works as I'd like.
But it's exciting time, obviously, right? Because, you know, it's the Great Race Place for a reason.
This is what we wait all year for, right? We get to see all the big names in one location, and we get to see anybody galloping at any given time.
Now, I mentioned you're the Loyalty and Marketing Ambassador for Zenyatta, and of course, everybody's been awake all night wondering what in fact you do. But for some of the things you do, I kind of wanted to show to the people watching, maybe not so much for the simulcast audience, but for the people on track. Opening weekend, you were absolutely slammed with patrons coming up and wanting their Zenyatta pin. Let's take a look at the Zenyatta pin. Tell those people who have not yet picked up their Zenyatta pin at the Thoroughbred Center how they can go about picking up one.
So, in order to qualify for the Zenyatta pin, you can make a $25 donation to Old Friends over with me at the
Which is the Thoroughbred Aftercare.
That's right. Or wager $50 with your First Rewards card. And I'm issuing new cards again. You have your name on it, your rewards level. So come on by and see me.
Now, let's stop right there for a minute, Sebastian, because you mentioned First Rewards, and there's a lot of other rewards that kind of are embedded in becoming a First member. One of them is you get 50% off general admission here at the racetrack if you come out, and you accumulate points, almost like a frequent flyer program. And the more points you accumulate, the more rewards you get.
100%, Tom. Wager rewards, credits. We do a bunch of experiences. There's a whole catalog. I could be here all day naming them off to you. So
give me one experience that comes to mind.
One experience that comes to mind is we used to do, and we might still do, the carriage ride.
That's very cool.
That's very fun. I haven't done it yet, so hopefully that's still a thing, but I have to go through the catalog again.
How many points do you need to get the carriage ride, and how much money do you have to wager roughly? I mean, do you have to bet, do you have to wager $1 million in order to get the carriage ride, or is something reasonable?
No, it's something reasonable. It might be, well, from a point standpoint, probably about 50,000. So, on a Friday like today where you get 10 times points on track, those add up pretty fast.
Of course, particularly with the 10-time multiplier.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the other thing we got going on is the Zenyatta hoodie. Let's show that. And my apologies in advance for the male model wearing this hoodie. This is another popular item, the hoodie, not the male model. Tell us about the hoodie, if you would, for a minute.
Oh, the hoodie's great. It's a quality hoodie. That is $100 beginning on September 29th through November 5th.
In terms of wagering.
In terms of wagering.
So in other words, a patron comes up and bets $100 throughout the day, and it's documented on their card. Once you see that wagering activity on their card, you'll give them a free Zenyatta hoodie.
100%.
Does it come in all sizes? There's some guys at the track who kind of maybe are XL or double XL.
So I've got medium to 2X, but I'm currently waiting for another shipment of medium and large. So if you're a bigger individual, like myself from time to time, come on by. I've got plenty of XL and 2X.
Amazing that the male model there actually got that gig. I mean, how does he get that gig and a good-looking guy like you doesn't?
He's in demand. He was supposed to go to the New York Fashion Week, but he was busy that week.
Now, one of the best things we can give away on track is money, and I've always been a big proponent of this. Let's face it, people come to the racetrack to try and make money. It's hard to wager on the horses and make money, but we're actually giving away money this particular weekend. It's called the Asian Wealth Tree. Talk to us a little bit about the Asian Wealth Tree and how people can actually make some money.
So another event where it's going to be your First Rewards card is the key. You're going to come on up to us it's going to be in the Paddock Gardens, just like the last one.
Saturday and Sunday
this weekend. I'm going to be really busy this weekend. I can't wait. Loving it. 4-day week. So come on over to see us. We'll get you your little ticket. You go over and redeem from the Wealth Tree. There's going to be a little voucher in there. We're giving away, $5,000 down to $5. and one per customer.
So the patron just walks up and grabs an envelope off the tree. Is that kind of what happens?
Yep, yeah, he gets to pick his own envelope and hope for the best.
You're not going to mark the $5,000 envelope with a little secret code for one of your friends, are you?
No, actually, I don't want to give that one away. No, I want to give it to somebody that I don't know. So if you know me, don't go do this. I'm just kidding. Come on down.
And you threw a subtle hint my way when you said you were going to be extremely busy this week. And I took it personally, like, don't bother me for any honeydews. Do this and do that. Is that kind of what you were insinuating?
Tom, you can call me anytime, but, try to keep it to business hours.
Now, all kidding aside, you're very, very busy, and I'm well aware of that. But you also love to handicap the races. And so opening weekend, obviously, we saw a lot of Breeders' Cup winning your in races. We'll see a lot of them tomorrow as well, I believe. There's either 3 on the 10-race card tomorrow.
Yes.
What did you think of opening weekend? It was kind of chalky, but, I mean, did you like some of those horses? Were there a lot of surprises? Just give us your personal recap of week number 1.
Week number 1, it could be summed up with, I think I was able to make like 2 or 3 bets. It's just enough time to break away. I was very impressed with Slowdown Andy. It's a shame that he's going to miss the Classic. I think that was his opportunity in the big dance, right? I really like Bally's Charm, even though it wasn't a stakes race. He performed admirably. Balladeer was a total surprise to me.
Wire to wire.
Wire to wire. Yep. And one small one, I thought the Tokyo City Cup was kind of intriguing, where you're going to have the winner whose name is escaping me have to take on next in the Breeders' Cup Marathon. That's going to be very exciting.
And you raised a good point, Sebastian. You raised a lot of good points in the first 8 minutes or so of the seminar. But one of the fallacies that I think a lot of people watching have is that we sit around and play the races all day long. We really don't, because we're so busy trying to make the experience for the customers that much better. You're doing it at the Reward Center. I'm doing it up in Eddie Logan. I mean, it's a lot of work making sure that people are having fun. That's a good sacrifice for us to make. But at the same time, we spend a lot of time handicapping, but a lot of times we can't, pull out our first bet card and fire away.
You know what? It's a labor of love, Tom, and there's no place I'd rather be. So if that's a sacrifice I have to make on a weekend, okay, I'll live. We got, another 4 or 5 weeks of this meet. I got plenty of time.
Sebastian never makes any sacrifices, but he did make one today. He handicapped today's 9-race card for us. We're going to find out who he likes. He's given us plenty of winners in the past on whenever he's appeared on this seminar. We'll find out who Sebastian likes on today's 9-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's Friday's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast and the turf course is firm. The rail on the turf will be out 30 feet for today's racing action. Here are the early changes. The first race starts the 50-cent early pick 5 with no changes. The second race starts the early pick 4. We have a blinker note. Same story for race number 3. The fourth race is the start of the $1 pick 6. Couple of blinker notes in there. Remember, no more jackpot pick 6s here at Santa Anita Park. It's a $1 pick 6 traditional style on races 4 through 9. The fifth begins the late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3. No changes in race 5. In the 6th, scratch number 2, Big Gun. With that scratch, there's no high 5 wagering, and there is now a revised morning line for race number 6 with the scratch of number 2, Big Gun. Race 7, number 2, Yo-Yo Mama. Make the jockey Jose Valdivia Jr. Scratch the also eligibles 9 and 10. In the 8th, scratch 1, Tahoe Sunrise. Scratch 3, Mr. Fisk. And scratch number 7, Divine Armor. 1, 3, and 7 are all out of the 8th. And with those scratches, we have no show or no high 5 wagering. In the 9th, program scratches of 2 and 7. In addition, scratch number 10, Pink Whitney, and number 12, Into Yellowstone. Race 9, scratch 2, 7, 10, and 12. Those are the early changes on today's card. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. Remember, it's a 4-day week with special racing holiday Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday racing here at Santa Anita Park. We'll kick things off with the opener in 59 minutes at 1 p.m. Let's get back to Quigley's Corner. Tom's special guest today is Sebastian Piscuskas.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Sebastian Piscuskas. That scene you just saw was not a postcard. That's a live shot of the San Gabriel foothills right behind the main track of Santa Anita, and it's a beautiful and glorious day. A little bit on the warm side, but certainly not a cloud in the sky. Means it will be fast and firm on the main track and the turf course. Sebastian, before we take a look at today's 9-race card, a question for you, and we heard Frank Marimati allude to it. The 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 is in our rearview mirror, and now we've got the $1 Pick 6. And so far, after the first 3 days of the autumn meet, every single day up to this point, the total amount wagered into the $1 Pick 6 has exceeded what was wagered on those corresponding days in the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. The players have spoken. They've said, look, we want $1 Pick 6, and I know you're very happy about that change.
Oh, absolutely, Tom. It's the best bet in racing.
Why do you say that?
Santa Anita, we were the progenitors. We're the original Pick 6, right? Like, we created the bet. We made it what it is.
After Tijuana.
Well, popularity-wise, I wasn't around for that. I don't know anything about that. But popularity-wise, from a everyday standpoint, I remember the carryovers that got up to 8 and 10 million on the triple and quadruple.
We were the king of the Pick 6.
We were the king of the Pick 6. And so to bring it back, give the customer what they want, $1 Pick 6, you have access to the 5s with 6. It really just is a wonderful bet. I really like the $1. It helps you stretch it out, and you're going to get, some decent tickets. And, payout standpoint, $1, yeah, it's not as strong as the $2, but the key to it is that it's something that you can play every day. And
more people can get involved.
100%. 100%.
And also the payouts, if you think back over the first 3 days, they were around $4,000 or $5,000 from what I remember. But in that sequence, there was a lot of chalk as well. So even though there was chalk, there were 1 or 2 upsets along the way, but it still paid great. Basically $5,000 to 1, 5,000 to 1 if it paid $5,000. So, the rewards are there. Players want to make a score. And I think at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about, is giving players a chance to make a score, whether it's the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4, which, by the way, will not be around for the next couple of weeks because the Northern California circuit has moved to Fresno. Later in the month, they'll resume racing at Golden Gate, and of course, we'll have the resumption of the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4. But whether it's the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4, the $1 Pick 6, the $3 All Turf Pick 3, we're giving players an opportunity to make a score. Bet a little to win a lot. That's the name of the game.
Absolutely. We've got probably one of the best betting menus around. So come on by and take a shot with us.
Speaking of betting menus and having a good product, let's take a look at today's card, Sebastian. And we kick things off in race number 1, which of course starts the 50-cent early Pick 5. We're going 1 1/8 on the turf course for maiden special weight fillies and mares. The rails today on the turf course are at 30 feet. We've got a field of 7, and the current betting choice at 3-2 is number 1, Den of Inequity. Before we get your thoughts on the race, we want to watch this replay. Last time the Den of Inequity ran, it was back on August 12th at Del Mar. It was the 3rd race. Den of Inequity broke from post position number 2. The winner that particular day made a very early move and a very impressive move. Den of Inequity, though, was coming on late. That distance that particular day back on August 12th was 1 1/16. Today's distance is 1 1/8. Let's listen to Trevor Denman describe the action for Den of Inequity's last race.
And away they go. Gentle was a little slow to begin. Irish Rose from the inside gate as quickest of all gets the lead strikingly right there in the white cap. On the outside, Secura Flavor tucks into 3rd. Den of Iniquity down at the rail. La Pierre is 5th, 7 off them. They're going a strong pace up front. The Flying Pharaoh's taken back 3rd last. Then comes Irish Smith and Gentle inside of that, 10 off the leader. They head to the 3/4 pole, and Irish Rose goes on, leads it by 1.5 lengths, strikingly right there in 2nd. Den of Iniquity is down at the rail alongside Sakura Flavor. Gentle's got a little closer and pulling pretty hard now in 5th as 6 off the leaders. La Pierre is inside of her, then back to the Flying Pharaoh, and Irish Smith as last. 10 would cover the lot. They run to the half-mile pole, and Irish Rose still there by 1 length. Now there goes Gentle. Rider could wait no more, and Gentle makes a huge run at them. Was fighting for a head earlier, and Gentle's gone right on by and set sail for home. Gentle by 2.5. Irish Rose tries to come back after her. Then it's strikingly Den of Iniquity down at the rail running on 2. Behind that, Secura Flavor. La Pierre is 8 off them. coming to the top of the lane, and Gentle now Trill leading by 2.5. Den of Inequity looms the danger in the blue cap down at the rail. Irish Rose tries to battle on. Lapierre is running on too, but Gentle made that big move and she's 4 clear. Den of Inequity chasing gamely in second. Gentle too far in front. And Gentle, Umberto Rispoli made the right decision. Let her go, and Gentle wins it. Den of Inequity.
Sebastian, normally when a horse makes that early move down the backside, they kind of peter out late, but Gentle did not this particular afternoon down at Del Mar. To give you an idea how fast that race was faster than the grade 2 yellow ribbon at the same distance on that same day by 0.14 seconds. So the time was legit for a maiden special weight event. You can see the betting public kind of agrees, I believe, with your top choice in the race.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. Den of Iniquity is far and away the horse to beat. I wanted to watch that replay, not just for Gentle, who the note I made was ride won it, but because Den of Iniquity, first time in the country, kind of ran basically right off the plane, right? She was on the rail, coming into the stretch where she needed to be running. She kind of had her head pointed to the grandstand, angled out into traffic, and then just kind of rode the rail through. She was the only one finishing.
And the other thing I like about Den of Iniquity, although I don't like the price at 7-5, is if you go back to the second running line back in Ireland when she ran 1.25 miles, she actually ran against the boys, not in a maiden race, and she finished third, just beaten 2 lengths with some trouble. That's noted in the daily racing form. So if she takes a step forward, she's certainly going to be tough to beat. But you also like number 4, Star of the Night, who interestingly enough, Juan Hernandez elects to ride. Mark Glatt, the trainer, got off to a fast start opening week. What do you like about Star of the Night? So
Star of the Night has room to improve. Second time out, her debut was a little disappointing for me. I don't really care about the buyer edge. I feel like she had the race won and was kind of on a wrong lead, just greenness. I really think as she got tired at the end that she's just going to be stronger for this, more fit, and the extra 1/8 of a mile shouldn't hurt.
1-4 in race number 1. So says our seminar guest, Sebastian Piscuskas. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This time we're sprinting on the main track. 6.5 furlongs of the distance, $25,000 of the claiming tag. A field of 6, the morning line favorite from the aforementioned Mark Glattbarn. On the bottom, number 6, Good Juju, also ridden by Juan Hernandez here in race number 2. Talk to us about race number 2.
Race 2, I land on number 5, Established. He's probably one of my favorite horses in training. He's right now he's running for the $25,000 level. Realistically, I think he could be worth more than that, but he shows up every time. He's now first off the claim for Steve Knapp. He's been claimed a bunch this year. He's run every time. 7 starts at Santa Anita, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. So I think he does pretty well here. I think the horse for course angle works in this case.
And you also like a runner from the Peter Miller Barn, number 4, Smuggler's Run, 5-2 on John White's morning line, dropping back down to basically the claim level. Another one likes the Santa Anita main track.
Yeah, Smuggler's Run. He was a stakes performer on this very surface. He's danced a bunch of dances. A little bit arrowed down, but Pete looks to have got him right. And he's dropping in class, so that's going to help him out here.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 3. We are sprinting on the turf course, 6 furlongs of the distance. Maiden special weight Calbreds, a field of 8. The morning line favorite, number 2, Sand to Sea from the Gary Studi Barn. Last time out went 2 turns, now goes back to a sprint. Give us your thoughts on race 3, Sebastian.
So in race 3, I end up on the first-time starter, Dusty Springfield.
Do you know who Dusty Springfield is?
No.
Did you Google it? I mean, you kids now, you can just Google things and find out who these particular people are. We know it must be somebody important because Nick Alexander named this particular filly. But you're showing your age if you don't know. That's okay.
Let's put it this way. There was a 90% chance it was a baseball player, but it's just in case I didn't
Dusty,
know.
you would think that, right?
Right.
You would think that.
But I figured you would know.
Well, that's because I'm old. But I also Googled it.
Okay.
It's a very famous female singer from the 1960s who had a lot of hits. So forget about how the name came about. Certainly, it looks like, Phil D'Amato means all business here with this first-time starter.
Oh, absolutely. I like the work tab over at Los Al. She is related to Enola Gray, who I remember winning by about 20 lengths on the main track.
I think it was 16, but I think you're right. She's a full sister to Enola Gray.
There you go. The bloodlines are there. I just thought, I gave you chalk in the first 2. Let me throw something else at you.
Fair enough. But you also give a little love to number 2, Sand to Sea, who I mentioned is the morning line favorite. Here's an interesting statistic courtesy of Brad Free from the Daily Racing Form. The Gary Studi Barn, with their last 14 betting favorites, 7 wins in 4 seconds. So usually when they take action, they mean business. 11 for 14, first or second. What do you like about Sand to Sea?
So Sand to Sea has a bunch of pace. I really needed her on her debut when she got beat ahead. That was a bit of a heartbreaker. Then she routed and she flew while routing. The cutback on this course with the rail out 30 feet is going to be key. And so while I did take Dusty Springfield, if Land to Sea wins at 4-5, I'm not going to be surprised.
Race number 4 begins the $1 pick 6. This also is a split of race number 6, the exact same conditions. And those conditions are maiden claimers going 1 mile on the main track for $20,000. Field of 7, number 3, Memes is the 9-5 morning line favorite. Coming in off a long layoff, asked to go 2 turns down at the bottom maiden claiming level. I don't know. Call me skeptical. I'm anxious to see what you think of race 4.
In race 4, I end up on the Rail Horse Montana. Now, 0 for 11, but is shedding the blinkers, and his trip is pretty much face up. He's on the rail with the Candyman. He's going, and it's just a matter of, well, 2 things. Is he feeling good today? And does he get a pace scenario that works in his advantage?
How do you know if he's feeling good today?
I'll know it about the 8th pole if he was feeling good today.
And the pace advantage, you think there's not a lot of early speed in the race?
No, I mean, the other horse that looks to have a bunch of speed would be Memes and Buffett, but you really don't know what they want to do with Memes. Maybe they want to give him a softer trip, given that he's been off almost a year. Maybe Buffett wants to get active with a good draw. So it all really just depends on if Montana's got his running shoes on today.
I'm going to segue for a moment, Sebastian, and talk about the trainer of number 4, Whiskey Vision. Of course, I don't like Whiskey Vision and 0 for 28 maiden, but you pay a lot of attention to Southern California racing, and the Val Brinkerhoff barn, although it's not reflected in the 13% win percentage that you see in the racing form, his runners are firing. If you're playing exactas or trifectas over the last couple of months, including the entire Del Mar meet, his horses are running at big prices. I'm sure you've noticed that.
Oh, absolutely. Val is a very cagey trainer.
He's old school.
He's old school. His horses outrun their odds and they jump up. But you know what? Whiskey Vision, even at 0 for 28, I put this horse on top a bunch of times. Would I be surprised if today was the day? Absolutely not, because Whiskey Vision could feel as good as anybody else.
Race number 5 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. It also begins the new wager, the $3 all-turf pick 3. That new $3 all-turf pick 3 means that the minimum wager is $3. Also, the all-turf pick 3 comprises the final 3 races on the turf course here at Zenyatta on any particular card today. That happens to be races 5, 7, and 9, and we're spreading 6 furlongs on the turf course for fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 2 other than. We've got a field of 6 morning line favorite. Again, the cleverly named Carmen Miranda filly is the 2-1 morning line favorite, owned by Nick Alexander, trained by Phil D'Amato. But before we get your thoughts on the race, Sebastian, we want to watch the replay for number 2, Wet My Beak, who invaded off a long layoff from back east at Laurel and hit the winner's circle back on Del Mar. This particular effort was back on August 31st, and it was the 7th race. You're going to see Wet My Beak in this particular replay breaks from the rail and inhales them once they come down the lane. Let's listen to Trevor Denman describe the action for Wet My Beak.
Away they go. Organic broke well from the outside gate, but they're all lining up here. Just Nails is very fast. Denim in gold in the blue. Miami Girl is right there at the rail, halfway to nowhere. Red Cap 3.5 off the leaders. New Pie Lambda behind that. Haley Levade is back second last, and Wet My Beak is last. They run to the 3/8 pole, and Just Nails down at the rail, and Denim in gold. They stride for stride. Organic is right there in third, ready to tackle those leaders. Miami Girl is down at the rail, halfway to nowhere. Red Cap is in with a shot, and then comes Haley Levade. They come into the top of the lane, and Organic comes to tackle now. Organic on the outside, Just Nails down at the rail, still in with a big chance though. Wet My Beak, look at Wet My Beak down at the rail, big white face bursting through a dream run, and Wet My Beak strikes the front. Haley Levade coming late. Wet My Beak wins. Haley Levade second.
Sebastian, the guest always chooses which replays to show, and I got to tell you, you broke my heart choosing this one because I loved on Wet My Beak in that particular replay we just watched when she went off at 9-1. One of the reasons why is because if you look at her running line back in June of 2022, look who won that race. It was a filly by the name of Amore. If you follow Southern California racing, you well know that Amore won the Grade 1 Beholder here from shipping back east last winter time. So the fact that Vladimir would bring Wet My Beak out here, sprint on the turf course, and got Hector Barrios to ride 9-1 was an absolute gift. We missed the wedding. Are we going to go to the funeral today, or are you going to come right back with Wet My Beak?
I'm coming right back with Wet My Beak because I didn't miss the wedding, boss. I was right there with Wet My Beak. She had a big work going into the race at Del Mar. I chose that replay because it's something that you don't really see all too often. A horse raging like that. She broke slow, weaved through traffic, and she didn't look like a loser. She's going against a bunch of fillies all coming out of basically the same race. They're, a head apart, a head and neck, and a head apart. The other three fillies, Carmen Miranda, Benedict Canyon, and Stress. So why not take the fresh face, who, even though we're not going to get the 5-1, I don't think.
You think we'll get the 5-1?
We could be second choice. Why can't we be 5-2 or 3-1?
Maybe. Okay.
Okay, 7-2 sounds nice to me.
Now, you also like number 3, Carmen Miranda, who you mentioned was in that blanket photo, 4 runners finishing on the wire. Let's talk about number 6, Stressed, who you did not include in your top 2. She was part of that blanket finish. There's a couple of things to take note of. Stressed, who's number 6 in race number 5. The first one would be, take a look at the trainer-jockey combination. According to Brad Free, and you can see it right there in the racing form, since the start of the year, the Juan Hernandez-Peter Urton combination is 16 for 27, hitting the winner's circle. That's 59%. So when they team up, they mean business. Also take note, the last 3 times that Stressed has sprinted 6 furlongs specifically on this turf course, she's wound up in the winner's circle. So there's a lot of things to like about Stressed. Truth be told, this is a pretty deep race. You really can't back a whole lot of runners with confidence simply because they seem to be evenly matched.
Absolutely right, which is why I'm taking a shot with Wet My Beak. You got a bunch of fillies that are all right there, right next to each other. Let's take the fresh face.
Race number 6, as I mentioned earlier, is a split of race number 4. It also begins the 50-cent late pick 4. There is one key scratch in race number 6. Take out number 2, Big Gun. That leaves us with a field of 6. The revised morning line favorite now is down on the rail. Number 1, Noble Union, who is the revised 8-5 morning line favorite. Talk to us about race 6, Sebastian.
In race 6, I'm taking another long-time memory horse. I'm going with Don't Test Your Luck.
Why is this a long-time memory horse?
Just 0 for 12, 3 seconds and 2/3. He was with Doug for a while there, running very good races with Calumet. His race 2 back against Park City was very good. We throw out that last race at Los Alamitos. It could just simply be he didn't want to race that day, as I've seen. At Los Al, he doesn't do his best work. He comes here with 4 starts, 2 seconds, and a third. It could easily be Don't Test Your Luck's day.
You can see that the Connections originally paid $100,000 for Don't Test Your Luck. One of the reasons why they paid 10 times the stud fee is because this horse is actually a half to the Grade 1 winner, Lighthouse. Lighthouse liked the turf, and Don't Test Your Luck has tried 3 times on the turf course, really with not much success. But I'm surprised they haven't tried the turf course a little bit more with your top selection, number 3, Don't Test Your Luck. Speaking of luck, you like another luck horse in the race. It's on the bottom, number 7, Lens Luck. What'd you see in Lens Luck?
So I saw a horse that just finishes every start. He's going to get away where he gets away. He's going to sit 4th, 5th, some spot off the lead, right? And he's just going to be the one finishing. That was it. If he finishes every race, he's kind of there. He nibbles, but if he gets a decent trip and he's in the right position, he can win this.
Race number 7, we're back sprinting on the turf course. 6 furlongs of the distance. Calbred fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Scratch the 2 also eligibles. 9 and 10 will not compete. Leaves us with a field of 8. Also take note, number 2, Yo-Yo Mama. The new jockey is now Jose Valdivia, the morning line favorite. Number 6, Unwritten Code, who has certainly stepped up the class ladder considerably after being claimed by trainer Jorge Parabon. 5-2 on John White's morning line. Another difficult race here. How'd you see it?
I landed on the 3, Don't You Forget. I've thrown out all of her route form. I really don't think she's a router. Once you throw that out and you look at the rest of her form, you got a second, you've got a third, first, second, on dirt, on turf. She is just a filly that wants to sprint and sprint only, and there's nothing wrong with that. She comes from a mare who wanted to sprint and sprint only. All of her siblings want to sprint, and that's all they want to do. So let's go ahead and Don't You Forget do what she wants to do.
Fair enough. And also you like number 6, Unwritten Code, who I mentioned actually won this condition on the main track, but being a Calbred, she can also try and break the same condition on the turf course, which she's trying to do today. Last time out at Del Mar off a relatively long layoff, she broke from the rail. She had a bit of trouble. She checked entering the far turn. She ran great. I thought, do you like her maybe to upset your top pick, or is it a clear Don't You Forget on top?
Don't You Forget is just like an angle play for me, right? But Unwritten Code, she rattled off 5 in a row. She was excellent off the layoff. She's going to be ready for this. Jorge's picking his spots very well with this filly. So I wouldn't surprise me to watch Unwritten Code, and she should probably be in front turning for home.
How do you kind of just, we'll use this as an example, Sebastian, but I just want to kind of get a glimpse into how your mind works when you're handicapping. How do you deal with a runner like number 4, Big Celebration? Never been on the turf course. Louis Mendez and Edwin Maldonado do very well. We haven't seen her since January. She's never run against Oler. She's actually a full sister to Big Sweep, who was a very talented runner, I believe, either from the Mark Ladd or Timmy Teen Barn. So she's got some pedigree. She's a huge price at 10-1 on the morning line. How do you deal with layoff runners in general when you're handicapping?
So layoff horses in general, this is a filly that I would take a shot on just from a price standpoint. Ultimately, when horses haven't run for a while, they're going to be fresh. They might not be as fit as you want them to be. Taking a short price on a horse that today probably isn't like the goal is a tall ask for me, but at 10-1, you can throw her in the exotics, and she's another filly with pace. I just think that, maybe once she gets back on dirt, I'll like her a little bit more.
Fair enough. And you can see once she broke her maiden in Los Alamitos in September of 2022, the connections immediately put her in 2 state-bred stakes races. So you got to believe they liked what they had. And then, of course, something happened that caused the layoff. But she's back. She's protected. She's trying turf for the first time. I think she's a little bit interesting, particularly at that big of a price. Race number 8 could have Breeders' Cup championship race implications. Maybe the Classic, maybe the Dirt Mile. That's because look at the conditions. In race 8, we're going 1 mile on the main track. It's an allowance optional claiming race, but the conditions are a little bit different. Sure, it's for non-winners of 2 other than, but part of the conditions is also for horses who have not won a race since June 19th. And that's exactly what happens with a couple of the runners here in race number 8, including the morning line favorite, number 5, Practical Move, who won the 2023 Sanitas Derby right here at the Great Race Place. We haven't seen him since then. I should also point out that both number 1, Tahoe Sunrise, number 3, Mr. Fisk, and number 7, Divine Armor are all not competing. They've all been scratched. So scratch 1, 3, and 7 out of race number 8. Newgrange also returns off a layoff. American Admiral maybe runs a big race. Tripoli maybe runs a big race. Small field, but a lot of implications.
Oh, a lot of implications, Tom. And when you asked me, would you do my seminar? I said, absolutely. And when I went through the card, I saw this race. I got very excited. Practical Move, Newgrange, Mr. Fisk all together. That was exciting for me.
Well, before you give us your pick, let's take a look at the most recent workout for Practical Move. It was back on September 24th. It's a team drill. And actually, both Toby Terrell and Andy Harrington like this move. You can see that the team drill is with Big Gun, who scratched out of the earlier race that we talked about. But nevertheless, Practical Move is going to be on the outside. And you can see, and you've already watched this workout replay, as have I, this is a really strong move from a graded stakes winner.
Absolutely. This is just what you want to see with a horse coming in off a 6-month layoff. He's always been on the taller, bigger side, right? Big Gun's not a small horse in his own right, and he towers over to Big Gun. He's going to hook him right here and just be as casual as can be. And when the rider kind of, kneels down in the saddle at the 8th pole, he just shoots away and then powers through the wire, gallops out like a champ. And it's the Practical Move coming out party again this winter.
The connections were obviously disappointed, scratching leading up to the days of the Kentucky Derby. But as you mentioned, Sebastian, he looks rock solid. And we see Chad Brown a lot in the past performances back east, but we don't see him out here much unless he ships in for graded stakes races or for the Breeders' Cup. But lo and behold, take a look at the breeder for Practical Move. None other than Chad Brown. You don't see his name very often in the breeding line, but Practical Move certainly is a very talented son, as you mentioned, a practical joke. And that turn of foot right there kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it tells me all I need to know. It tells me that Chad Brown does a great job of breeding horses. I wouldn't be upset if they gave him Eclipse for breeder if he wins the Classic with this thing. But in all seriousness, Practical Move looks to be coming back and firing on all cylinders. It was a shame that he missed the Kentucky Derby because he is just a really talented horse that makes his own luck, right? He is a throwback to the horses of old that take dirt, make their own trip, and they're going to fight you to the wire.
Newgrange now, says, hold my beer. Hang on 1 second, because Practical Move's a 3-year-old. I'm older, and I also like this main track. I've run 4 times over the Sanitas main track with 3 wins. We also haven't seen him since March. What's wrong with Newgrange?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with Newgrange. He's a quality animal in his own right. It was a similar time last year, coming back off a layoff. I really liked him when he beat Tripoli. He's a horse that improves with Lasix as he's getting Lasix back in here today. So Newgrange and Practical Move, if they break away 20 lengths on Grade 1 winner Tripoli and, graded stake, or was graded stakes place, I thought in my mind, American Admiral, this is a really interesting and pretty deep 4-horse field now.
Now, I said Newgrange, hold my beer in relation to Practical Move, but Tripoli says, hold my glass of wine in relation to both of those. Well, you covered the the whole field, but you didn't talk about the Grade 1 Pacific Classic winner.
Oh, no, I mean, Tripoli, he's been sharper, right? They're trying to get him back, but he absolutely is probably favored to run in the top 3 here, I'd imagine. So Tripoli hopefully gets a nice trip, and then maybe we'll see him in the Native Diver again at Del Mar.
Close out the day in race number 9. We're going 1 mile on the turf course for maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies. Program scratches of the 2 and 7. Also take out number 10, Pick Whitney, who's going to run on tomorrow's card, as well as number 12, Into Yellowstone. That leaves us with a field of 8. The morning line favorite, number 3, Mocha Grande from the aforementioned John Sadler barn. Who do you like to close it out, Sebastian?
I landed on the 4 Blue Oasis, Tom. She chased a really hot pace going a mile. She stuck around really well. I think that she improved second start. And as I've talked about before, on this course in the autumn meet with the rails out 30 feet, you want to be closer to the pace. And she's one that can make her own luck sitting off of Mocha Grande. And if she's good, then she can win this.
And you also give a little love to a runner that I find interesting, and that's number 1, Circle of Trust. Here's the reason why, from my standpoint. If you have the daily racing form in front of you, you can see that the buyer par speed figure for this classification of race is a 70. As you peruse the runners that have run, none of the runners, although they've been competitive, even come close to a 70 buyer speed figure. Whenever I see that, just from a general handicapping standpoint, I start to pay a little bit more attention to the first-time starters. And number 1, Circle of Trust fits that category from a good barn, ridden by a good turf jockey. What did you see about Circle of Trust that you like?
I saw a bunch of things on paper, Tom, that I don't like. The Union Rags, 10% debuters is fine, but he's only 3% with first-time turfers. But what I actually did like was Gary Mary West homebred, Phil D'Amato, Umberto gets on for Phil. And what's the shortest way around the racetrack? On the rail, right? Why can't she get a nice trip inside, tip out at the top of the stretch, and take her shot?
And it's good to see the Silks of Gary and Mary West back here in Southern California. They run this maiden today. They run another maiden in the first race on Sunday. So thank you, Gary and Mary West, for supporting Southern California racing. One other pedigree note on number 3, Mocha Grande, who's the morning line favorite. If you do the pedigree work, you'll notice that the dam of Holiday Music, who is Mocha Grande's dam, that's none other than Stage Music, who's the dam of Justify. So Mocha Grande related to Justify. We never saw Justify in the turf course, but nevertheless, that's probably one of the reasons why the connections of number 3, Mocha Grande, paid close to $500,000 for her. Sebastian, I know you're a busy man. It's going to be a busy weekend for you. I know not to bother you with any of the nonsense that I need done normally. So thanks so much for the time and the insight today. Always a pleasure doing the seminar with you, and wish you nothing but the best of luck going forward with your career.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it, and I hope you have me again soon.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll have a 10-race card tomorrow with 3 graded stakes races, many of them with Breeders' Cup implications. First post for tomorrow's card is 1 o'clock Pacific. We'll do another seminar tomorrow, 10:50 a.m. Pacific, 11:50 a.m. Pacific time. Hope you can join us then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good luck and have fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast, the turf is firm. Rail on the turf at 30 feet. Here are the changes. No changes in race 1, start of the early pick 5. The second starts the early pick 4, no scratches or jockey changes. No scratches or jockey changes in race number 3. The fourth starts the new $1 traditional pick 6 on races 4 through 9. Couple of blinker notes. Fifth starts the late pick 5, as well as the new $3 all-turf pick 3, the all-turf pick 3 today on races 5, 7, and 9. No changes. Race 6, scratch number 2, Big Gun. Race 6, scratch number 2 with that scratch, which begins the late pick 4. There's no super high 5 wagering, and morning line maker John White has issued a revised morning line. Turning to race number 7. Number 2, Yo-Yo Mama, the jockey Jose Valdivia Jr., scratched the alsos 9 and 10. 8th race, no show or high 5 wagering with the scratches of 1, Tahoe Sunrise, 3, Mr. Fisk, and 7, Divine Armor, 1, 3, and 7 out of the 8th. And in the 9th race, program scratches of 2 and 7. Additionally, scratch number 10, Pink Whitney, and number 12 into Yellowstone. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. 28 minutes to post for race 1. Remember, we do have a special racing program this coming Monday, Holiday Monday Racing.